Hey everyone, this is Jack with Average Consumer, where we try to answer two questions. Is it worth your time and is it worth your money? And this week we're going to be talking about the 560S by Sennheiser. These headphones come with a lot of hype, and understandably so. And there's some things on this for this headphone that are very impressive. However, I question whether they actually do live up to the hype, and I'm going to get into those details here in a moment. But before I do, I really wanted to take a moment and thank you for joining me here today. And I ask you, if you do find any value here, to please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any feedback for me, I'm always looking to try to improve things here. This, frankly, is a bit of a hobby of mine, and I kind of do this as trying to get my thoughts out. But frankly, I want to improve the show, and maybe something can come of it. I don't know quite yet, so we'll see. With that, let's jump into the build quality of these headphones, and they're pretty traditional in the fact that they share a lot of the same designs and build of a lot of the 500 series headphones, excluding the 58X from Mass Drop. Drop has those share more of a build of the 600 series headphones. But in the end, in a nutshell, there's a lot of plastic going on here. And it's not a bad thing, but even here, where you would find metal on the 600 series, it's plastic. And then, well, everything is plastic. Even the grills are plastic. So it's not a bad thing, but for $200, I kind of expect a bit more, a little better build quality. They feel really kind of flimsy in the end, but in a way, they also feel like almost indestructible. I don't foresee any long-term issues here. I'm going to get into one thing that I find really annoying, and Sennheiser has been getting criticism from this for years, is this proprietary jack on these headphones. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because the cable that comes with these headphones is absolutely terrible, and you are going to want to change it. So you might as well consider you're going to be paying $220 for these, because the base model is $200 and you're going to be spending $20 or something for a better cable, because this cable is, I bet you it's 9 feet long. It goes on and on. It's spaghetti. It gets tangled and knotted, and it is unwieldy. In fact, I haven't seen a cable this bad since I bought the Philips 9500 headphones. They come with this ridiculously long cable. However, there might be a use for this, and maybe they had that in mind. I doubt it, but I'll get to that at the end. Exactly what I'm referring to when I say the right tool for the right job. Let me think. Anything else? I do like the pad here. This is a standard Sennheiser pad now with the cutout in the middle. Kind of relieves any kind of hot spot at the top of your head. And the pads here are a little shallower than some of the 600 series headphones, and a little flatter. And I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. Actually, it kind of, when you get these, especially for the first time with every Sennheiser headphones, there's quite a bit of clamping force. And this seemed to distribute the weight on the side of my head a lot better, making these quite comfortable pretty quickly. Then you can see that they start to loosen up pretty quickly. So over time, I would suspect that these headphones will be just fine and comfortable. So with all of that said, I know that a lot of people are interested in, well, what do they sound like? And I'm going to jump right to the chase and tell you that they sound artificial. And I know that's very controversial, but bear with me as I explain why. A lot of people that buy headphones, especially in the consumer space, and average consumer, we're all looking for that more of a V-shaped sound. And we typically achieve that usually buying a lot of headphones come that way. You know, look at some of the most popular headphones on the market: Beats, Sony, even AirPods. They all various degrees of that V-shaped. And when I say V-shaped, is that there's an emphasis on the bass. The mids are kind of recessed a bit or flat, and then the treble is enhanced a little bit. Well, with these headphones, they're trying to achieve a flat, linear response. And that's what's making a lot of audiophiles really excited about these headphones, because they do, on paper, have what a lot of audiophiles are looking for: a relatively flat sound. And that's not a bad thing. However, when you're an average consumer, that's probably what you're not looking for. So let's start on the bass. The bass is, compared to a lot of other headphones, the bass is it's there, it's fast, it's accurate, and that's what you want, especially a lot of audiophiles. That's exactly what they want. However, because of where it's at, it's flat. It's not it's not enhanced in any way. It sounds suppressed because of it, especially coming from those other headphones. So these are definitely not a bass-oriented headphone. So if that's what you're looking for, I would argue that in most cases that's not what you want or what you're going to get in any open back headphones. So may not be a good fit. Mids. This is typically where Sennheiser shines. Mids are usually natural and really intimate. That's where a lot of vocals and acoustic instruments sit, are in that mid area. In this, the mids are still there, and by the graph again, it's flat, but the soundstage has changed here, and I'll get to soundstage here in a minute. But it sounds like they've taken a step back, so it sounds a bit recessed and not as prominent and not as natural sounding as a lot of the other Sennheiser headphones. Again, not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And then the treble. The treble is it's quite good. The problem here, though, is that I think a lot of people mistake treble for detail, and you hear a lot of people talking about how detailed these headphones are. I would say that the treble feels very enhanced because the bass and the mids, in comparison, sound recessed, although they're flat. That makes the treble sound excited in some ways. They're not sibilant. In fact, they kind of flirt with that. They flirt with being sibilant, but they're not sibilant at all. In fact, I would argue they're not very fatiguing. Although after a 2-hour movie, you take them off, you'll go, oh, you'll feel relaxed that it's over, because I guess maybe they're more fatiguing than you realize while you're using them. I don't know. This is an example, though, that I would argue that burning them in does help, because when I first got them, they were very artificial sounding to me. So I put them on pink noise for like 10 hours. That seemed to quell some of these things, but not by much. So with that being said, I used the word artificial quite a bit in this review. And frankly, if you're looking for a set of headphones, that's what's going to happen here. I don't think that these sound very natural. And when I listen to music, for example, I'm not in that world anymore where I am looking for a set of headphones that gives me every analytical detail. I want something enjoyable, something that is relaxing, something that I can enjoy. So when it comes to music, this is where I'm going to step in and say this is where I would say you might want to consider a different kind of headphone, a different set of headphones. That, in my opinion, that's not where these excel. I don't find these enjoyable to listen to really anything when it comes to music. However, where it does excel, and I was shockingly surprised, is when I was watching movies. These headphones were exceptionally good when I was watching movies. In fact, I'm going to point to a scene in one of the Matrix movies where Neo stops bullets and the bullets drop and hit the floor. With these headphones, soundstage not only is the width, but it can be the height, and I could actually hear the bullets drop and land near my feet, and that was kind of cool. And when I was using these for movies, the dialogue came through nice and clear. All of the action and elements of the fighting scenes and everything, they were great for movies. So it kind of goes back to the concept here, the right tool for the right job. Is this worth your time? Is it worth your money? Especially at the $200 mark. There's a lot of competition at $200. I would suggest that if you are spending $200 on a set of headphones and you want Sennheiser, I would think that the money might be better spent with the 6XX. If you are looking for movies and your primary work is actually mixing music or production type situation, like maybe you're editing video or movies or what have you, these might be a great set of headphones for that. But for the average consumer, when it comes to music and an all around everyday use for everything type of headphone, I'm going to end up picking something else. Well, I hope you got some value out of this. I know it was a bit rambling this time around, but those were my thoughts as I had spent a week with these, trying to understand why the hype and in what scenario. But I think I might take a moment and try to do some comparisons with some other headphones that I have, and we'll go from there. But in the end, like I said, this is exactly a scenario where it's the right tool for the right job. Well, I appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time.